Welcome to Booklandia, where we review romance novels.
This and every episode are chock full of oversharing and spoilers. Every episode is rated E for explicit.
Okay. I think it's happening.
Oh my god, I think it's happening.
I think it's happening.
Is this real life?
I hope so, because otherwise it's just 8 hours of me.
Let me boop you.
8 hours of me hanging out in this chair that are not real life, and that would be a weird dream.
That would be a very weird dream, but I've probably dreamed it, and I'd be into it. Look, I've had weirder dreams.
Fair. Okay, fair. So hi, and welcome to season 3.
Oh my god.
We might get into why we abandoned season 2.
I mean, sure.
We DNF'd it.
We did.
we DNF'd it.
Failed out of it. Like, we realized it was a slow burn romance.
And we were not into a closed door situation.
Absolutely not.
So now we're in season 3.
And we're in each other's faces.
I'm so glad we ate immediately preceding this and then didn't do anything about that.
I can literally smell nothing.
Okay. That's good.
Just a life.
There's a life fact. Oh, I see a life fact. Brilliant. I thought it was all of these, all this equipment between us.
Yes, microphones. If you didn't know, absorb smells.
They do not. Maybe they're wind guards, but then ew. Okay, so there's a lot of ums.
We're just getting back to it. Like, we're gonna stretch.
So sorry, Finn. I already have too many ums. Oh, I just realized that I put up our names and then I immediately took them away.
Yeah.
So
give the people our names again. And
we're backwards.
I'm that one.
And I'm oh my gosh, and I'm that one.
Yeah. So I'm Ford.
And I'm Sky. And I need to remember to switch the name tag positions.
A note for next time.
A note for next time. I'm not taking notes. This is probably a bad idea. Note it.
Excellent. Well done. Well done. Cheers. Oh my god, we get cheers?
We can real life cheers. Oh, I guess I should then take a sip if I cheer.
Don't leave me hanging.
Sorry about that. Okay. So I know that you had this brilliant plan to do our year in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
In what respect? Just like in terms of book reading?
I think just a lovely overview.
Wow. Okay.
Just a gentle, just like throw you into the deep end overview of like where the fuck have we been?
Are you prepared to do that?
I'm emotionally prepared to do that. While you were like clicking around and literally setting up everything, I was just like on my phone on Instagram. I was thinking like, what would I talk about? So I think I could. Are you prepared to do that?
Oh no, I'm still amazed that all the clicking is done. So no.
Okay.
I'm not yet prepared, but I am going to try to push this button and watch that screen and see what happens.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Okay. So you ready? So 30 seconds to tell us an entire year's worth of information.
Great.
Oh, it's definitely
more clicking.
More clicking. This is the most exciting thing you've ever seen or heard. Okay.
What's off screen? You'll never know.
All right.
So I got this new job and I got really busy, and then we just couldn't continue committing to the time, really, and we came to an emotional understanding and we GTFO'd and DNF'd season 2. Since you've been gone, I have read all of the Sarah McLean backstock, and I am currently reading the Witcher series. And I started off the year really well. Like, I had a lot of good books right off the bat.
Nice. All right. Well, well done you.
Thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna attempt this one more time, but now for me, I guess.
Okay.
What am I gonna tell you?
Oh.
All right. Well, the suspense is killing me, and I'm the one about to talk.
Oh, no.
Here we go.
Riveted.
All right. So, I also got a new job, and it also got very busy, and I was unable to commit emotionally to reading books and then talking about them because my verbal processors were shutting down. But that is over now, and I am now in limbo, and in this limbo, lots of book reading has occurred, which is very exciting. I'll talk about which books later.
Pivot. Excellent. Yeah.
Oh, there's so much more.
So much more time.
So much more time.
I think it's, I forgot to mention that because of the job change, I'm driving the same amount, but because I don't have the bandwidth to read when I'm home, I'm just so exhausted. I have started audiobooking more and doing that on my drive. And then I've also taken up, not taken up, but I have expanded my puzzling habit. So that I can audiobook and puzzle at the same time. So my need to do things and complete things is being sated while also reading books. And so 2 birds, 1 puzzle piece.
The one still under my couch.
We hope it's under your couch.
We hope it's not in my cat's belly. Yes.
Yes. Oh, well, long gone.
True that.
Long processed
True
into
that.
pooping.
In case you've ever, suffered from one missing puzzle piece, you know what this trauma is about.
I just had a brilliant idea, and the brilliant idea is that you should do the puzzle, and then you should make the puzzle piece.
I mean...
Because you're an excellent artist.
Well, thank you. I could, but the aforementioned lack of time...
Yes, yeah,
rears its ugly head again.
Not now, but in the future.
In the future. That will be my hobby of all hobbies.
Yeah.
Restoring the missing puzzle. You know what? People would pay money for that.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Is Etsy store.
Right. Yes. So in case you all showed up for a book podcast, we've already swerved.
This is what conversations with us are actually like.
This is why maybe
unedited.
We shouldn't be in the same room. Okay, so let's talk about.
Thank you for putting us back on the rails.
Let's talk about your books and review year.
Yeah.
Book year. No, what am I saying? Year. Books.
Booksapalooza.
You know what? Stick with that.
Okay,
Booksapalooza.
So, the books that I've read in the last year, and so since we're in the summer months, we're obviously on an academic calendar. So, please, not Roman, but academic. And so from roughly the end of last summer to now. So my sort of top tier books, things that have bubbled to the top, I feel are worth talking about. First, I want to talk about Amanda Collins' Ladies Most Scandalous series. And it starts with, didn't take any fucking goddamn notes.
The pink cover that's still in my house.
The Spinster's Guide to Dangers and Dukes is the new one, and it is excellent. Whatever the pink one is that you're...
I didn't bring it back.
No, that's Wicked in the Wallflower. I was thinking of the other pink book on my shelf. And what it's just it's a period romance, or they're each period romances, and they're these independent women just living their lives and then also falling in love, and they're delightful. The first book is about a woman who starts a newspaper column meant for other women, which just wasn't of the time. And they also were here's how to avoid a murderer. That kind. It's murderinos plus.
Okay. So I really should pick up that book.
It's delightful.
At the stack. It's really because it's in paper format.
It's a pink cover. That's
actually no judgment on that. It's the fact that I currently have zero ability to sit and flip pages.
I feel like I read it on an airplane.
Ooh, okay, that is maybe a possibility.
Anyhow, the most recent one is about a woman who is in the first women's class at Oxford. So a blue stocking, as they're called, and it's just they're she gets there by winning a scholarship from the suffragists, not Suffragette City, suffragists, the other thing, and trying not to get in trouble with hanging out with those ladies, and he's in Parliament because he's a lord, Brits. So it's delightful. They're just enjoyable reads, and they're, steamy for a period romance. So enjoyed that one. Check. Next up, as always, forever and always, Kate Claiborne.
Yes, I currently have Georgie All Along out on audio from the library.
Ooh.
But then sorry, we're hopping way ahead.
No,
but
okay.
I just, and I mean literally just in the 5 minutes before pulling up to your house, started Rosalind Takes the Cake.
Rosalind Palmer?
Palmer takes
by Alexis Hall.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess Georgie waits another day.
I would be interested to hear your review of the audiobook because Kate Claiborne's writing is just so beautiful and it's so poetic. And I read her backstock this year as well, the Luck series, the 3-book Luck series. And, like, those were lovely, and they're really, like, strong, well-formatted, modern, contemporary romances. But somewhere between the end of that series and Love Lettering, she fucking turned it on. And, like, because Love Lettering is extraordinary.
I mean,
and
you're preaching to the Love Lettering choir.
Yes, Love Lettering is a damn good book. So now I've preached to everyone else. And so Georgie All Along is just equally good. And now that we're on camera, I can remember literally nothing about it, but that it was, I loved it. It was, nope, literally nothing about it.
Well, let me read it and then I'll prompt you. I'll remind you of the things.
Okay, great, amazing. I want to say she's scatterbrained. I can't remember. Now all the Luck stories have come to the top. And okay. Anyway, look, I'll read literally anything by Kate Claiborne.
Yes.
Immediately.
Yes.
Immediately. I mentioned that I read all the Sarah MacLean backstock, and so do I have two? I do. No. My favorite book from that one is Rule of Scoundrels from the Scandal and Scoundrels series. And no, those are the two series.
Yes.
I think I had to just go with the series because they're all very good, like 3, 4, 5-star books for me.
That's great. Yeah, I'm currently in the Rules of Scoundrels, and
right.
my only complaint is that Scandal and Scoundrel and Rules of Scoundrels is a lot of scoundrels.
Britain had an epidemic of scoundrels.
So that is truly my only complaint here. I am liking them as well in terms of rating them in the 3s and the 4s.
Where in the series are you?
I'm at Temple, so I'm in the 3rd book.
So you're not to the 4th one
I'm
yet?
I'm not to the 4th one yet.
So the 4th one was my favorite.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's the one about the woman. She's on the cover. I'm not going to give it away. So, that's all. There's a woman in that one.
There's a woman. Okay, great. I'm excited. I mean, I feel like she also has a pattern of the 4th one is about the woman.
Right. Oh, yes, because she does that with the bastards.
With the bastards, yeah. But then, Bombshell and Knockout they're all about women. And
so maybe the 4th one will be about a man.
Maybe. But Knockout is coming out soon, so I feel like I need to clear my calendar for that.
You're just going to take your whole TBR shelf and sweep it onto the floor.
Yes. Yes.
Sweep it into a box, throw it in the closet. Then next, so this is a book, it was the last book I read of 2022. So I was on my Christmas trip with my mom, and she's, working even though it's holiday break, because, moms. And I bought this book at the local bookstore where she lives, and it's Rochelle Mead's Succubus Blues, which is the first book in the series about, I can't even remember what it's called, but what the series is called. But the main character is a succubus, and she has to keep the peace between all of these factions and do this for this and do that for that. And it was sexy, but what's also interesting, because she's a succubus, you're not committed to one partner. So there was no sort of HEA, but no other main character really. There were kind of a couple that just floated in and out of the periphery. And we really enjoyed Rochelle Mead. What was the other thing she wrote that we really enjoyed? I I really should do better research. What I'm realizing being in the room with you is I can't
covertly
Google
it.
things and like not have like a screen over here, my phone or anything. So maybe I'll look up some stuff on the break and then yell at you before you start talking.
Perfect.
At any rate, I really enjoyed that. I had read something else that felt sort of in the similar vein to that of like a paranormal quasi-romance, and it just kind of was not good. And so to read one that did it better just amplified that book for me. And then it was also like a paperback from a local bookstore, and like I felt really good supporting that bookshop. And then lastly, and forever and always, the Lore Olympus comics. Always good, always stunning to just read and flip through. And each book takes me 30, 45 minutes to read. And I'm always just ready for the next installment. I'm ready for the next installment.
But we still have the books caught up to webtoons?
Well, so that has gone on, and they're like many, many seasons ahead of where we stopped reading.
Right, yes.
So, but no, the books have not caught up or exceeded the point where we stopped reading yet.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we'll get to it in the next book, maybe the second after that.
Okay, so that is when I will be rereading all of them.
Yes.
Is what I feel like.
You'll just wait for the new bits.
Yes,
yeah.
And then so I can continue through
It's been really hard to not just go to the app and keep reading. But I feel like I would like to read it in this format and experience the story from wherever we stopped on out in this actual comic format and support the author that way.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Question.
Oh, a pregunta para mí?
I didn't know we were going to do it in languages.
Yes.
So my question is, we collectively have read a lot more historicals this year. This has been the first year that we've really read historicals, with the exclusion of Martha Waters' series that we read in season 2.
Sure.
Why do you think, have we just found have we unearthed the historicals with the good heroines? Like what's motivating historicals?
Well, I think it's the Bombshell series. Like we found that and we're like, oh shit, historicals can be feminist, and historicals can be beyond their time, because it's still fiction. So like you don't really have to play into necessarily the true history, or you can find the edges of history that you want to write about. And I think once we realize that it's not all misogyny, like it just became another framework for romance. And so those books being so good, for me, historical has been mostly 80% not Melissa McCracken, Sarah McLean. Melissa McCracken is a painter I've been talking to somebody else about. Also very good artist.
You talk to other people?
I talk to other people. It's actually someone.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Just making a lot of can noise over here.
You're really interrupting my story here.
I apologize. Please continue.
It's okay. It's not worth it anymore.
80% of all of the historicals you've read has been Sarah McLean.
I think so, having read her backstock at this point. Now, I did just read Martha Waters' new book, and like, I think I gave it 2 stars because the premise was gaslighty, ghostlighty. It's about a ghost, fake ghost. Anyway, and so like, there's definitely some hit or misses. Having gone through sort of this historical binge, shall we say, I'm starting to search out similar things. So Evie Dunmore's series, Rogue of One's Own, A Scotsman, Something's in the Dark. That's not right, but A Scotsman in the Dark.
It would be a book you'd read.
Excellent book option title. And then I'm also really interested in Idina, what's her last name? Holton's Witch series. There's a couple
the
of like
Wisteria Society
yes.
of Witches, or
yeah.
is that it? The Wisteria Society of something.
It's either I get this one and another series confused, which is the League of Extraordinary Witches.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested in both of those books. So I think I'm maybe shifting into like historical witchery.
Excellent.
The discovery of witches like slot.
Yes.
So to speak. Yeah, I don't know. And then I'm also reading the Witcher series, so completely separate from romance. Still kind of keeping my roots of reading fantasy. And I think that might also be informing the like I need a little fantasy with my romance desire. Boy, those are kind of a slog sometimes.
Yes, sometimes he just walks and walks and walks with his horse. Yeah, there's a lot of that.
And there's a lot of just like, I know this will probably matter.
Right, we should pay attention, but should we? I keep thinking about the video game, and then there was a sound effect, a very specific sound effect for his feet on the snow.
Yeah.
And it sounded like the Foley effect for walking in the snow, which is a box of Rice Krispies being shaken.
Is that really the Foley?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, I have to eat some Rice Krispies now.
Yeah,
You've made me immediately hungry.
That's what they use, is they shake Rice Krispies and it sounds like footsteps in the snow.
Crazy.
And so I think of that noise anytime I'm in a scene that just of the Witcher book that's just like traveling through the forest for the 20th time. It's just like Rice Krispies shaking in the background.
I mean, like, I think I'm further in the series than you've read.
Correct. Now you are, yeah.
Yeah, and like, because
Blood of Elves was my last.
Yeah, and I'm enjoying it. It's just really slow going. Like, this last book, Time of Contempt, that I've read, it's all a journey, and it's still happening at the end of the book. They never reach the end of the journey by the end of the book, and I'm just like, how fucking long is this going to take?
Well, it's an epic.
Yeah. It's still going, which I checked. Like, he's still writing these books.
Okay, so then extremely epic, and now there's a lot more pressure on him because the TV shows have made it a lot more visible. That's
true. That's really true. And it was definitely interesting to read the books after watching the TV show, because now I feel like now that the new I think the new season is dropping in June, which we can talk about we can talk about that at some point, and all that drama. It feels like it's time to go back and rewatch now that I have so much story color my belt. Yeah.
Yes, I liked watching it after reading it, because there are bits that maybe didn't make it into the TV show, but they alluded to them, and I was like, oh, I know what they're referring to because I read all the back stuff.
Yeah, and so the first two books of those are essentially short stories, and that's really what the TV show, I think, sort of focused on, at least in the first series, first season. But it's not a Monster of the Week book series once you really get into the full novels. It's about the Witcher and Ciri and Yennefer and a huge war that's, bearing down on literally everybody. So it becomes more fantasy and less Death of the Week. Murder. We're not going to call it Murder of the Week. We'll call it Vermin.
Extermination of the Week.
Extermination of the Week.
There you go.
Yeah, that's the word.
The Extermination of the Week. Excellent.
Yeah.
Sorry, I realized. Well, I realized that the timer that tells us how long we've been chatting for is over my shoulder. So really, I should just ask you to check our timer. But it's really tiny, isn't it?
Which number is it?
That should tell you how many numbers are on my screen.
Oh, 24 minutes.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We are 24 minutes into this episode, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Wow.
Yeah. It's, I think what I'm looking forward to reading in the next year, I want to read all of Rachel Lynn Solomon's backstock, because she started in YA, and like Today, Tonight, and Tomorrow being our favorite of her books so far. I think I can say that.
True.
Okay. Her earlier works also being YA. I'm hoping to come back to those and sort of find the sparkle that I've been missing in the adult and more recent stuff. And she also has See You Yesterday. Have you read that one?
I have not.
Okay. So, coming to that. I will continue plugging through The Witcher. I think I just need to take a break because I did 2 back-to-back and I think I just need a breather. What else am I excited about? I should have literally written down a single note about this. I'm just riffing at this point. I'm excited about the Red, White, and Royal Blue movie that's coming out.
Yes, I'm very excited about that.
Prime just dropped another, an image on their, while you were clicking, I was Googling a poster.
Excellent. Yeah. That's exciting. And to tease the next episode, right? Are we gonna talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue?
I think we should.
I think shouldn't we?
Haven't we?
Yes. Actually, I was trying to remember if we have.
I haven't found proof that we have done a full episode.
Well, we haven't done an episode on it, but we have definitely talked about it. But we can talk about Red, White, and Royal Blue again.
Extensively.
Yes, you can show your French version.
It's right here, center frame. Absolutely center frame. But yes, we can do a full tour about why is it bigger.
The book. And the book.
Maybe the font is bigger.
Maybe the font is bigger. It's definitely a euphemism I don't think has been used frequently enough.
And Book Talk needs, how big is his font?
How big is his font?
Yeah. Having just come out of work mode, I haven't been in Bookstagram mode in so long. It's hard to know what to be excited about, what's coming. I mean, Katie Roberts is always writing 3 books at a time. So her next Lore Olympus book she's in. I don't know when the next one's coming out. She was just talking in her newsletter about editing. I think she's in editing phase for one of them. So maybe.
Yeah, so their new Sarah McLean Knockout.
Yes.
It's coming out very, very soon.
Yeah.
There is a new Rebecca Weatherspoon. It's her YA.
Okay.
And if I were way cooler, I would remember all of the titles. I don't remember.
Same.
I don't remember.
I am cool.
You are very cool. I don't remember, and now I feel bad, but I remember the cover.
Yeah.
There is a new Claire Christian that has come out that we are all we're waiting. We're ready to read it, but and I started Rosalind Palmer instead.
That's okay.
So we're gonna wait just a little longer. We're just prolonging the anticipation of that particular book.
Yeah.
So Claire Christian's new book just came out, which is also very exciting.
That's when do you remember when Talia Hibbert's next thing is coming out? I know she has a new adult.
So I don't think it has a release date. It got pushed back. She, in her newsletter, was had a really rough year. Finally,
but also got engaged.
Yes, well, at the very beginning of the hard year.
Yeah,
and then just didn't write, and is just now coming out of that moment for herself, and so. In her last newsletter, she was like, "It is headed your way. It's not there yet." I'm very excited for it when it gets to us.
Always.
And we did read her YA novel.
Yeah.
Highly Suspicious and Extremely Cute.
Unfairly cute.
Unfairly cute.
I think it's unfairly cute.
And so there's that. It deals with OCD and social anxiety for teenagers. In really meaningful ways.
Yeah.
So that's out there if you want to read it. Yeah. So there's stuff coming out. I'm definitely missing all of it. But I was thinking about the fact that
do you have FOMO?
I keep looking at our Instagram account and being like, we should most definitely drop an announcement, get re-engaged, and this is the beginning of it, and we will. But we haven't, as of this recording, we haven't yet. And immediately after this recording, we should.
Probably.
but I feel like, yeah, I'm hopeful that I can find time in the summer for this in like a frenzied way, in the way that book talk requires. Yeah.
The exhaustion of book talk.
Or we can always do it in whatever way we feel is appropriate.
Yeah, I mean, yes, we can absolutely not do this now. Have this sidebar conversation.
Okay. Yes, I see what you're saying. Yes, we should not schedule our Instagram post on our podcast.
Probably not. I mean, is there interest in that?
Not an ASMR kind of a situation.
Would that gain us viewers? I'm excited to sort of re-engage. I will lurk on our Instagram and see what's going on. And I enjoy lurking. I've always enjoyed lurking. I've always been an observer more than a participator. Is that what makes me a good reader?
I just want to go back a second to participator as opposed to participant.
Look.
But roll with it. Do it. Participator.
How dare you? Finn, edit this out. Edit out my whole error. Make it sound like I said participate.
No, participant.
You heard what I said.
Fantastic. I feel like we're taking this is a great place for a break.
Yes, well, my brain is melting. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, let's take a break.
Okay. Goodbye.
We're going to take an intermission. When we come back, we will discuss our favorite moments from the book and if this book made us want to get naked.
Okay, and we're back.
Oh my god, is my brain still melting? Yes.
That was a short break.
It was a very short break. I did have a chance to Google the books that Rochelle Mead wrote that we liked was Vampire Academy.
Oh, very good.
She's the author of Vampire Academy.
Got it.
This is like her adult version of that.
I see.
Kinda.
Okay.
Feels the same.
Makes
sense. Anywho, tell me about you so I can stop talking.
So you can continue melting over there?
Yes.
Okay, so I tried originally to think only of the books that I read this year, and it has not been a very prolific year for reading for me because my drive is now shorter, and so my audiobooking time has diminished significantly, and I'm really feeling the loss of that, actually. Mm-hmm. So way fewer books on my list, but I then looked back at the end of 2022 and picked some books out of that list. And then hearing you talk about an entire year's worth, like a fiscal year versus an actual year, I don't feel bad. And I'm actually going to add one to it, which is great.
Yes.
So the very first book on my, if you haven't read this, if it hasn't been on your radar book that I absolutely loved was Merry Little Meet Cute by Julie Murphy and Sierra Simone. Mm-hmm. And it is spectacular. I am obsessed.
Okay, so we recently did an in-person book club meeting. And we went to Ripped Bodice. And I noticed that they had that book in hardback.
Yes, they do.
And no one bought it.
Well, it's chunky.
She big.
Yeah, so one of the book clubbers was going to buy it and then was like, I think this one is a Kindle. You get this one on Kindle.
I see.
Which is true. It's worth every page of it, though.
And it's a holiday romance, right?
So it kind of is.
Okay.
Okay, so here's my pitch for it.
Okay.
And then I will. Here we go. So she has an OnlyFans account, and she's a very popular plus-size OnlyFans star. And she also works in porn. Mm-hmm. And I'm sorry, adult entertainment, adult films. And she's very proudly, she proudly uses the term porn.
Yeah.
And she's very successful at it. She's living a great life, but she's trying to diversify her portfolio. And through a series of hilarious events, she gets cast as the lead in a Hallmark movie. I put that in quotes because they don't call it Hallmark, so they don't get a lawsuit. But she gets cast as the darling in a Hallmark movie. And her co-star in this Hallmark movie is an aging pop star from a boy band who is trying to reinvent his image and gain some traction again because he's been working as a set carpenter in his local small town, and he's trying to put his career back on track. And what we find out in the moment that they meet is that he is one of her biggest subscribers on OnlyFans. And she had a massive crush on him as a heartthrob of her teenagehood.
I see.
And they're both sort of struggling with blue balls and massive hard-ons for each other.
Sure. I've masturbated to this person.
Yes, and now they are kissing me in this like super chaste holiday.
Right.
So everything is being, so it's a holiday Hallmark movie. So it's being shot in this town called, I want to say, Christmas. And so everything's dressed up in Christmas. And yes, it is being shot over Christmas and New Year's holidays, but at any time it would be Christmas in this town.
Got it.
So Julie Murphy offers really quippy, she comes from the YA world. She has really great quippy conversations. And Sierra Simone offers the spiciest of spicy heats.
Yeah.
The spiciest.
Oh.
So spicy.
Oh.
They literally break the bed at one point.
My.
And I like my goal for the summer is to read some Sierra Simone backstock because at the Ripped Bodice, her stuff was in the
erotica section.
Yes, in the like only come here if you're ready to get burned erotica section.
Amazing.
And then one of our book clubbers was like, "Have you not read this entire thing?" And I was like, "No, but now I will."
Yeah.
Going immediately on my list.
Amazing.
So cannot say enough good words about that book. It has great rep. It has amazing conversations about assumptions of people based on their jobs, literally, and societal prejudices. Ooh, that is a word I cannot say.
Prejudice?
Sure. Yes, prejudices against people for really silly reasons.
Yeah.
So 5 stars, full
Amazing.
tilt.
So how does it rank in this? There seems to be an influx, and I totally love and respect. I am excited for this influx of romances where sex workers are the main character. So I'm thinking of The Roommate. I'm thinking of
The Nanny, most recently.
Yes, and then there was one other between the two.
Well, there's another one by Rosie Danon, because there's The Roommate, and then the second one in that series.
Yes. And I can see the
Something
cover.
Experiment.
Yeah, and she's at the podium.
Yeah. Yes.
Intimacy? The Intimacy
Experiment?
something?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. The two of us together
can sometimes title. Sometimes. Join us
occasionally.
for this book podcast where we can't title without better research. We're working on it. It's yeah. We've been diagnosed. It's all good.
I won't be working on it. You get what you get.
Whoa. Okay.
Okay. But so like how does it fare in
It's great. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It addresses how she feels about her self-worth.
Yeah.
In terms of being in the industry. It addresses safety and how performers feel safe or don't feel safe. It addresses the intimacy, emotional and physical, that they go through, the camaraderie. It really showcases this environment as this wonderful, loving, protective space rather than something that's negative or inappropriate or dirty in any way. It's really it's a loving tale of how you can choose to actively have that be your career, because that is her story. She's actively, willingly, and wonderfully is a sex worker.
Yeah.
And she enjoys that, and she just wants to have a greater audience base, which is why she ends up accidentally in this Hallmark movie.
Yeah. And I do want to be clear that these other books don't do that. They are all very positively affirming sex workers and sex work. I just know that those 3 books, we were like, meh, they're fine.
Well, I haven't read The Nanny yet.
I haven't read The Nanny either. Okay, so then those 2 books. The
Rosie Danan books. Yeah, they sort of used it as a comedic gimmick that started
as
the adventure.
As a like a wedge.
Right.
There's a thing to keep the 2 people separated, because somebody would be like, ah.
Right. Yeah, that is not the case here. That is not at all the case. And then they have a conversation about whether or not she's going to continue the work once they become partners. And
spoiler alert.
It's called A Merry Little Meet Cute. Am I spoiling anything?
No, you're not at all.
Because if I were to tell you the extreme details of how they partner, that would be spoiling it. Because that's really the excellent, surprising, wonderful part.
Okay, good.
But no, it's great. It's great. It's very wide open about a lot of conversations. So hard recommend. Please and thank you. The next one that is not on there because it's in 2022 that I read it, but I'm bringing it to the table, and it is
yanking it from the past.
Yes, and it's Husband Material by Alexis Hall.
Oh yeah,
and I know that in our book club it got mixed reviews. I really liked it. I really like these characters. Yeah. There's a 3rd one in this series. It has not come out yet. It is called Father Material.
Oh, cute.
And I'm very excited for that as well.
Yeah.
I do think that, so the first book in the series, Boyfriend Material, was vaguely based on Bridget Jones's Diary.
Yes.
And it's like, once you know that, you can't unknow it.
Yeah, you can't unsee it.
Yeah. And so I don't know if there was a similar backbone to the second one.
And I haven't seen the second movie in so long.
Oh, the second Bridget Jones?
Yeah.
I was thinking more along the lines of the book, because I've read the second Jones as well. Right. I've read all the Bridget Joneses, actually. Yeah. I don't know if Bridget Jones' Edge of Reason and Husband Material followed the same structure. Maybe, possibly. Bridge spirals in the second one, and there's a hilarious moment where she assumes that he has a young child in his bedroom for nefarious reasons, but she gets too distracted by her underpinnings rolling up. Yeah. It's a whole thing. Yeah. I feel like you needed to be there for this one.
No, I have a vague memory of this part of the movie. Yes. Yeah.
So, I don't think that does not happen in Husband Material, but
he does spiral because they go to a coworker's wedding.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe there are parallels. I just didn't see it quite as clearly. But I was still very excited about it.
I was one of those sort of meh people about it, but I remember the scene of them tromping through the mud, breaking into that person's house to eat their cookies and drink their tea.
Right, and then discovering that it's their
wrong
friends.
House.
Yeah, it's the wrong house. It's adorable. It's the most adorable British breaking and entering you can think of.
Right,
honestly.
Biscuits. I'm gonna eat your biscuits and drink your tea.
Yeah.
But those characters spiral constantly. It's a constant spiral.
Yes, but kind of lovely.
Oh, delightful.
Yes. More conversation about, parents and expectations of how parents should behave. So I'm very excited for Father Material coming out. Yeah. The next one on my list is The Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. And I started reading that book, got very triggered by the second scene.
Yeah.
And she sets it up. You see it a mile away.
Yeah.
Like, it is not hidden in any way that this blow is coming towards our character. And then it happened, and it broke me because it just touched a personal nerve. And then I put the book down, but I was away from home, and it was the only book with me. And I am so glad that I went back to it because It is wonderful and lovely and thoughtful and a very slow burn and somehow not boring in its slowness.
Okay.
There's a lot of conversations with ghosts. It can't very well be an extremely steamy situation when ghosts are around, if you will.
I feel like there has to be a book out there that will refute that statement.
I have no doubt that is true.
Ghost. We need sexy ghost book recommendations, everyone.
Yes.
Please bring it.
I have no doubt. I mean, case in point, Ghost the movie.
Hard truth. You did not know this about me, but I was low-key obsessed with the Casper movie as a kid. And, like, Devon Sawa was, like, one of my top 3 celebrity crushes. So maybe there's some like fanfic about that movie. I'd be into
possible. That. I could see that being.
I mean, they're a little young. So I need more. I need at least YA to new adult fanfic, Casper fanfic, please.
There you go. But yeah, lovely, really well written. We'll absolutely read more stuff by her.
Awesome.
Gorgeously.
Was this
gorgeously
her
done.
first book?
This is her adult debut. She is also a YA.
Got it.
And then Everything for You by Chloe Leese, which is the 7th in the series. So she came out with 2 in the last 2 years. Wow. And this is the one
she wrote in the pandemic.
She wrote in the pandemic. This is the one about the 2 soccer players. And one of them is described in a way that if you watch Ted Lasso, you immediately imagine.
Who? Which one? Who? Roy Kent?
Yes.
Excellent.
Yes. Hold on. I was like, I will get there. I will get this
so
the end of my sentence.
I'm very into Ted Lasso too.
Oh, yes. No. Okay. So Roy Kent is absolutely the basis for one of the 2 players. And in case you, like all of the world, have imagined a Roy Kent fantasy, this is a Roy Kent gay fantasy.
Yes.
And it is top-notch.
Excellent.
Top-notch. All of her books are really thoughtful about people with disabilities, people with different mobility needs, people going through physical trauma and dealing with adjusting to their bodies and in their new ways. Just like very lovely big conversation about it. She then came out with another book, and that one isn't nearly like that didn't quite make the list for me of the best books.
Yeah.
But I love that it didn't complete the series. There's one more book in the series because there's one more sibling in the Bergman brothers and sisters. Keep it in your pants, Bergmans. But maybe don't, because then there's more books. More
are
books
they Irish? Jeez.
They are Scandinavian.
Oh, another long winters sort of
yes.
culture.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm just impressed and a little like jealous that you've read 7 books without me. And I'm not really jealous, but like acknowledging that this is a whole series that I have no interest in starting or ever reading, but like you're doing it and you enjoy it and you try your hardest to get me to like care. and I don't know why I can't connect to it. And at this point, there's some intimidation factor coming in at into play.
Well, she just released a different series. The first book in it is called Two Wrongs Make a Right, and that one's based on Much Ado About Nothing.
Cool.
And then the second one is coming out, and that one is going to be based on Taming of the Shrew.
Love Taming of the Shrew.
I mean, misogyny everywhere, but hopefully she's going to fix that.
Contemporary.
Yeah. But I really liked Two Wrongs Make a Right. I thought it was great. So that series only has one book in the backlog, so you can start there.
Okay. I see what you're doing there. Excellent.
If you want to get into Chloe Leese,
right.
But I will read everything she puts out because I think her work is great.
Incredible.
And then lastly, I feel like I need a lastly here.
Okay.
I just, and by just I mean 20 minutes ago, well, not 20 minutes before I arrived here, please, not 20 minutes ago. 20 minutes ago, we were already in the episode. I finished Christina Lauren's The True Love Experiment.
Hot off the end.
Hot off the end. And okay, I'm going to try not to spoil it because you haven't read it yet.
Please.
But so Christina Lauren was my gateway into Romancelandia, and then I read everything that they've ever written. Well, not ever. I've read everything that they've written as Christina Lauren. That's more accurate. And in the last couple of books, I haven't really been connecting with their subject matter or with their storylines, and it was a little bit sad for me. So when they hit one out of the park in a way that's similar to like this, the banter very much reminded me of my favorite Half Night Stand, which is one of my all-time favorites of theirs. The ridiculousness of some of the situations is very much like the On Honeymooners. So all of the things that really drew me into their potato chip chapters, as you call them, where you flip the chapters through very quickly. All of that is there.
Read just one.
All of that is there. And these people are very real in terms, like, you know how sometimes you're like, just say the words, like, don't think them in your head, just say them to the other person, because then you can have talk to each other. These people talk to each other.
Yeah.
And in that is the more interesting story, because they are very honest with each other, but it doesn't make the situation go away. It makes the situation more complicated, because they know what the other one's feeling at all times. And it's very refreshing. So I did not enjoy the Soulmate Equation nearly as much as I enjoyed this, which is in the same world as the Soulmate Equation. Those characters come in for little cameos.
Sure.
It was very good. It was very good. It's very similar in its storyline to the Charm Offensive. It's very much like the Charm Offensive. So if you like the Charm Offensive, and we very much did, this is on par.
This is 2 tins up.
2 tins up for the Charm Offensive.
I've never felt more old than in that exact moment.
Great.
We're at 52 minutes.
Great. So I feel like now is the time to talk a little bit about, what are you doing?
Just keep talking.
Okay, now is the time to talk about what to expect from episode 2, I feel like.
Great.
We sort of already mentioned that it's going to be about red, white, and royal blue. This is the...
Not even on camera anymore.
No, just leaning away completely. What are you doing?
Yes. Just nothing. Hi.
Excellent.
So yes, red, white, and royal blue is going to be our next thing. I would like to. I'm so sorry. We should talk about other things, but I have a gift to give you before we end the episode.
Okay.
So just want to time that out.
I think we're there.
I think I've ruined this point you were trying to make about the next episode being red, white, and royal blue by Casey McQuiston with my gift.
Yes, perhaps I'm not sorry.
Excellent. Gifts are my love language, and I will force them upon you. So I went to the last bookstore recently, and their romance section is very small. I have notes, and it's more romance, please. You have enough space. Build up. But I was able to find something to continue the gift giving of awkward erotica.
Excellent, because nothing says awkward erotica more loudly than Naked Came the Stranger by Penelope Ash.
Please read that section aloud.
Okay. Combines the torrid prose of Harold Robbins, Jacqueline Susan, and a host of lesser figures. No wonder, for as it turns out, Penelope Ash is a pseudonym for 25 Newsday writers. 25 men and one beautiful woman got together to produce the most sensual bestseller of the year. 25 men? It took 25 men to figure out how to make one woman come? Is that what we're saying here?
And one beautiful woman telling them how to do it. Like, I don't care what the book's about, but the fact that 26 people wrote that book makes it a masterpiece. It makes it a monumental effort.
I mean, yeah, imagine editing.
Oh, God. Can Can you imagine that Google Doc? Terrifying.
I do believe this is predates
yes,
docs
absolutely.
altogether.
That's 70s?
1969.
Hey.
Yes. Oh, and some of them happen in pairs.
Oh, all right.
Billy and Jilly, though arguably Jilly might be.
I get it. That's how they wrote it. Everybody wrote their own chapter.
Possibly.
If you happen to stumble across a phrase you'd like to read aloud, I would thoroughly encourage it. But I could not resist old-timey porn for you.
I have yet to find any kind of...
I wish we had the ability to just zoom on, just tight in on these, like, reactions. And just in case, everyone, if you need here's some butt.
I'm not. Just it's very tasteful. It's very tasteful.
Yeah. Yes. A classic erotica. It makes me wonder, does someone get murdered in this book?
Unclear, but there is a lot of lipstick.
There is but it's lipstick in a bullet shell, is what it looks like to me.
It does look like that to me as well.
Anyway, if you've read this book, please let us know.
Or maybe you know not to.
Tell us literally anything.
All right. On that note, welcome to season 3. It has been a delight. And let's try again. Come back for episode 2. We will have written notes. We will have attempted to write notes.
Yeah.
Come and see.
See if I've done better.
There you go. See if you've done better.
Thank you for joining us for an episode of Booklandia.
For more Booklandia, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at l.skyford, Twitter at SkyfordL, and hit up our blog, lskyford.com.
We love you to the moon and back, so don't forget to rate and subscribe.
Our eternal thanks for the audio editing and support provided by Finnegan Murphy, who you can find on Twitter at Finnegan1, that's FIONNEGAN, numeral 1, and sometimes Sky herself.